the birth is the time to celebrate the potential, but death, we celebrate what the person has become. And that's the idea of Yahrtzeit, and that's the idea when people spoke, a few people are going to speak and mention a few things about the psukim here. Just to bring up the last pasuk, it wasn't really a family, where it says, Mina Hashem Nishmat Adam. The idea there is a flame. A flame, I saw it, I forgot whether the top part is the white and the lower part are different colors. And the top part represents the Shemayim, the low down part represents this world, and that was able to connect the two. And that's the idea of that pasuk there. Anyway, whoever wants to...
I think that one of Zaydi's most defining characteristics was his straightforwardness. He's really the quintessential, like, Moshe Leib. Somebody whose righteousness was exhibited, someone who naturally gravitated towards the truth. Roshdavar the MS in every sense of the word, in the sense that he had the ability to identify what the truth is and uncompromise the truth. He stuck to it. And it's really something that's worth all time. I feel like just from that, but that's from my family, and I know something that's just the ability to see through the thought and focus on the truth and stick to it. It's really a rare characteristic of something that is really David's most shining.
Really reminds me of Sadie. Chazal say that everyone should have a friend that not only for just regular things, just to learn Torah and help each other go forward in life. So I remember this really reminds me of Sadie. That I remember he could be anyone's friend. It doesn't matter if you're 5, if you're 20, if you're 70 years old. He could sit with you and talk to you about anything you want, whenever you want. He never said to you, I don't have time. He always sat. And I remember for like me and he used to sit with Sadie and just talk with him all the time about just anything. I remember grandma used to go with my mother and everyone to the mall. We used to sit home with Sadie on the second day of Yom Tov for hours and just laugh and talk. He would come back, we'd still be sitting in the same position, laughing and talking. I remember when we were at school, so on Motzei Shabbat, when Grandma and Zadie came to us, when they were here for I don't remember exactly one of the Chagim. So we were here and we were talking, singing, it's already 2 o'clock at night. And I was like, you guys have to go to sleep because we have to go to school tomorrow. We just wanted to sit and talk to Zadie and listen to us about whatever we want, anything. And I remember the Shabbat before Zadie went to the hospital. So Zadie was at our house for Shabbat, and in shul he didn't feel well. So he wanted to go home. So I remember I walked home with Zadie like 40 minutes. I was wheeling him over in the wheelchair, and we made kiddush together, and we were just talking and we're really gonna miss Zadie in that way. That all the love that he's doing. Story in the Gemara, and this story, they bring this pasuk and it reminds me exactly of Zadie. It says, Amar Rabbi, כשהלכתי למצוא מידותיי אצל רבי אלעזר בן שמוע, ואמרי לה למצוא מידותיו של רבי אלעזר בן שמוע. Rabbi says, when I went to go learn Torah from Rabbi Elazar ben Shamoa, מצאתי יוסף הבבלי יושב לפניו, והיה חביב לו ביותר עד לאחר. And he saw his Rabbi Elazar's student learning with him halacha. And he was one of his favorite Talmudim, and they got to this halacha. And Yosef HaBabli asked his Rebbe, Rabbi Elazar, Amar lo, Rebbe, השוחט את הזבח להניח מדמו למחר מהו? If during one of the certain stages in preparing a korban, so when you shchot the korban and you think of and you want to leave the blood for tomorrow instead of throwing it now, is it pasur or kasher? Because there's a term that's called pigul, that during one of the stages of a korban, if you had in mind to do that certain stage at a different time or in a different place, it's pasur. So he asked this question. Now, Amar lo, kasher. Arvit amar lo kasher, Shacharit amar lo kasher, Tzoraim amar lo kasher, Mincha amar lo kasher, Ela sherabi Eliezer posel. So his student, Yosef HaBabli, asked his Rav, the same question. He asked him in Shacharit, Mincha, and Arvit, and then the next day he asked him again. And he always said kasher. But then the next day, the Rabbi Elazar added kasher ela sherabi Eliezer posel. Zahavu panav shel Yosef HaBavli. And Rabbi Elazar saw a student Yosef HaBavli was really happy. So he asked him. אמר לו, יוסף, כמדומה אני שלא, כיוונו שמועתנו עד עתה. He asked him, up until now, every time I answered your question, what, you obviously didn't think it was correct. Because now, after the fourth time, you see that you were satisfied with what I answered. Then he answers, אמר לו, הן, אלא שרבי יהודה פסול שנה לי, וחזרתי על כל תלמידיו, וביקשתי לי חבר ולא מצאתי, עכשיו ששניתי לי פסול, החזרת לי אבדתי. He said, no, I agree with what you said each time, but once Rabbi Yehuda told me that it's pasul and not kasher, and I asked all his students, and no one ever heard this from Rabbi Yehuda. But now that you told me that it's kasher, but someone else, Rabbi Eliezer, says it's pasul, so now I know that Rabbi Yehuda is correct also. זלגו עיניו דמעות של רבי אלעזר בן שמוע, אמר אשריכם תלמידי חכמים שדברי תורה חביבים עליהם ביותר, וקרא עליו המקרא הזה, מה אהבתי תורתך כל היום בשיחתי. מפני שרבי יהודה בנו של רבי אלעאי, ורבי אלעאי תלמידו של רבי אליעזר, לפיכך שנה לך משנת רבי אליעזר. So he's saying, and why did Rabbi Yehuda say that it was pasul even though the halakha is that it's kasher? Because he was the son of Rabbi Eli, and Rabbi Eli was the student of Rabbi Yehuda and of Rabbi Eliezer, and Rabbi Eliezer said that it was pasul, even though that's not the halakha. So he didn't want that opinion to be forgotten. So he told you that it's pasul, even though it's really kasher. So the explanation of the pasuk Ma Ahavti Toratecha Kol Hayom Misichati, it means that when you learn Torah and review it many times and try to understand it even more, so your everyday speech becomes and it turns into Divrei Torah. And that's what Chachamim say, Ein Adam Medaber Ela Mitoch Ma Shehu Ohev. So if your sikhat, from all the times that you review Torah and understand it, your divrei chulin become mitoch divrei Torah. So, like in a story, you see Yosef HaBavli, even though he knew what the halakha was, that it was kasher, even though he kept on asking it and tried to understand even more. And that's how I remember Zaidi, because even though he knew that, for example, in Kriyat Torah, he knew how to lane perfectly. He would get up early in the morning and review it many times, even though he knew it perfectly, and he would always have the Dvar Torah in handy. He would always Litva Itina Torah, and he always had something to say about Torah. So we could surely see in Zaidi that his Divrei Chulim were surely Divrei Torah.